Fellow Ghanaians, we are in this together, and government will stand by you. We are aware that there will be discomfort and difficulties for all of us over the next couple of weeks. As a responsive government, we will continue to implement bold measures to mitigate the impact of the coronavirus on businesses and households and ensure that job losses are minimized. The Minister for Finance has been directed by me to prepare for approval by Parliament a coronavirus alleviation program to address the disruption in economic activities, the hardship of our people, and to rescue and revitalize our industries. He will then immediately make available a minimum of 1 billion cedis to households and businesses, particularly small and medium-scale enterprises. The commercial banks are, in addition, responding to the Bank of Ghana's 1.5% decrease in the policy rate and 2% in reserve requirement with a 3 billion cedi facility to support industry, especially in the pharmaceutical, hospitality, service, and manufacturing sectors. We're providing additional relief, such as extension of the tax filing date from April to June, a 2% reduction of interest rates by banks, effective 1st April 2020, the granting by the banks of a 6-month moratorium of principal repayments to entities in the airline and hospitality industries, i.e. hotels, restaurants, car rentals, food vendors, taxis, and Uber operators. All other sector credit exposures will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Mobile money users can send up to 100 cedis for free, and 100% to 300% increase in the daily transaction limits for mobile money transactions.
Well, let's stay on this a while longer, and I will be joined on phone by Mr. Joe Jackson. He is Director of Business Operations at Dalex Finance. I am also in the studio with Nana Poku from Guta to also have this particular discussions with. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and thanks so much for joining me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me start with Mr. Jackson, and I want to find out from you, how do you respond to the 1 billion Ghana cedi relief package that the president has announced?
Well, to be honest with you, it's my first response is that it's a good starting point. The cost to this economy of dealing with this crisis, and we have to deal life.
Well, Mr. Jackson, your line is breaking. I don't know if you can position yourself well, enjoying
other places a very good start. But as you've seen in other places, if you think about it, the U.S. just approved 10% of its GDP as a relief package, not even a stimulus package, as a relief package, and plans to spend more. So are we going to, the 1 billion is a tremendous start, but between a number of issues that we should, that set me thinking. Number one is that the money has to be found. And the money has to be distributed in a way in which it will impact the bottom of the pyramid, that the big, large corporates are not going to take that money and keep it. The money has trickled down. And one of the things that we failed to be able to do as an economy in times past is to be able to trickle down the effect of the beneficial macroeconomic parameters that we've had in the past. So that has set me thinking, and that should set a lot of people thinking that 1 billion cedis is a tremendous start, and I'm truly impressed that we have to start from 1 billion cedis. But we should make sure it trickles down. It should not be hit by corruption.
Issues like corruption.
It should not be hit. We should not allow the fat corporate to take away that money and use it to sustain their business and sustain their shareholders. It should truly trickle down. So one of the challenges we're going to have is to see how it goes down. But it is a tremendous start, and it does make me a bit more relieved. One, the money has to be found, and two, it must trickle down.
It must be put down, exactly. So you're saying that it's really a good start. Before I come to you, Mr. Jackson, let me get to Nana Poku from Guta, because he also represents businesses as well. How do you also receive this particular message from the government?
Sincerely, I agree with Mr. Jackson. How would it trickle down to the pepper seller? A woman who have about 10 children, who comes early to the market, try to put something on the ground to sell before they eat. How is this money going to get to them? We all know the kind of politicians we have in the country. We are not in the Western world, where people are well identified, so that all these stimulus package can get to them.
But Nana, I think that you have all these people that you can bring together and even document. So probably government could also fall on Guta for, quite a number of your members that, to identify all these people, the pepper seller that you are talking about. Probably you have also failed government, or you have also failed in doing a lot of
sincerely speaking, this government is doing all that he can, but I think we are a little bit late. When we started shouting that this thing is on the way coming, maybe some of them were not actually in tune with us. But I tell you, it is going to be very difficult, because we are all scared for our traders out there. Very, 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 very scared. Because, look, you don't know who is coming to you to buy. And sincerely speaking, I don't know how this money is going to trickle down to them. I don't know.
Apart from the money and the trickle-down effect, how has Guta also taken the partial lockdown by government?
Look, we are with government 100%, but we are urging the think tankers who are in the committee to think more. They shouldn't sleep. They should think more as to how Ghanaians will be okay, because lockdown decisions are being taken. If caution is not exercised, we are going to create another catastrophe. Thereby, this disease will not kill them, but hunger. Now that there is lockdown, people cannot come to the market and trade and so forth and so on. The impact is so huge. I feel for the president, sincerely speaking. You can't go there, you can't come here.
Okay.
So, sincerely speaking, I don't know, but the think tankers who are on the ground, I think we should start thinking now. It hasn't got to the level where nothing can be done. Everything should be on expedite manner, very fast.
Do you think things are moving at a slow pace?
Yes, because it has been said that these monies are going to be, giving a stimulus to those who are, But how fast? How soon? We don't have time. Look, yesterday I was watching Spain. I nearly burst to tears. Instead of packaging goods, we are packing people. It wasn't easy.
Mr. Jackson, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Well, so you have also spoken about the trickle-down effect. I don't know how best you think that this money can get to the people that really needs to get it, to ensure that we all, the purpose for which it is given is achieved.
Well, I have quite a few ideas. Now, the first is that, listen, this country collects taxes through indirect taxes. VAT, fuel taxes, consumer taxes. Those hit everybody and hit those at the bottom hardest. Take off the tax, the consumer, the communication service tax, take it off. That will bring an immediate relief. Take off the fuel taxes. That will drop the price of fuel and drop the price of food. Already, and the local of Gary has risen from 8 to 12 to today, it's now 15 cities. How do you bring relief to these people? Take up the fuel taxes, drop the price of fuel further, so that the Gary can hit the market cheaper than it's hitting now. We also have the what do you call it? All the other, so the consumer tax, the fuel tax. Those who pay taxes, formal taxes, don't just postpone the collection of taxes and tell them that employees should return SSF to you. Employees should return PAYE to you. That will hit the bottom of the pyramid. You can't even cap it. Anybody who pays PAYE less than 500 cedis, let the employer return it to the person. That will hit the bottom of the pyramid quickly enough, because we have an informal sector, a large informal sector.
Very large.
And a vulnerable informal sector who are living literally from hand to mouth, who can deal with even the current price rises due to this corona public health restrictive regime. How can they deal with the long-term effects? And I say very simple. Okay. Cut the communication service tax, cut VAT, cut the fuel taxes. That will impact the prices of food immediately. And return SSF and PAYE to those who have paid it. Okay. Then we'll start talking. I think that should count towards that 100 million. And that will impact those at the bottom immediately.
Well, Mr. Jackson, let me wrap up with you and then get to Nana Poku to also wrap up with him. In all of this, what is the way forward for the financial sector even after COVID-19?
Well, the financial sector, the good thing is that those who have gone digital, truly digital, and can operate without opening their branches, they are the ones who are best placed to survive. Okay. Those who have paid lip service to going digital are going to be a little bit of a bind. But the financial sector is not the problem. The problem is really the financial sector will survive. They are okay. We've just been through a cleanup. The financial sector is in a relatively stronger position. The problem is not the financial sector. It's the people we are providing services to. That is the larger problem.
Thanks so much. Joe Jackson is the Director of Business Operations at Dalex Finance. Thanks so much. Let me wrap up with Nana Poku from GUTA. You seem to be very much in agreement with his submission.
Yes. Mr. Jackson have said it all. And I think the stimulus package should act now. Everything is now. It's not like the bureaucratical way of doing things yesterday. When the government says this, the next morning it should act, or the next hour it should start, because we don't have the time. There is no time.
How has or is this, affecting your membership?
Sincerely speaking, we are calling on the banks. Those who have contract loans with them, please, build them out. They cannot pay you. At Bank of Africa, we applaud them. They've done it. And then I think few banks are coming out that they want to do it. They should do it now. There is no way that they will be able to repay the loans that they've actually come for to work with. And then we are calling on benevolence, the society. If you have money, it is people that you impress the money on. Now these people are about to die. You have a lot of money sitting in the banks. Please give it out to government. Give it out to people to survive.
To businesses? Or
no, not businesses. People should reach to people. People who have money should now start reaching out to people. Because you don't say you will survive. It is coming after you, whether rich or poor. Give it out. Some few rich men in the country have started. Don't wait for the president. Don't let this money sit there. So it be we are all going to go. Who are you going to impress your money on? We are appealing to people. Conscience. We are appealing to their conscience.
How much is the association supporting government with?
Seriously speaking, we are not for-profit organization. So don't expect anything coming from Guta. But our advocacy alone, because we've been advising the traders a lot, and we lack a whole lot of logistics. If we were to be resourced, we will give these marks, no's, these all to the traders.
Thanks so much, Nana. Nana is getting so passionate about this.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Nana Poku from Guta, joining us here in the studio for updates on this particular issue. Let's get on the phone lines. I will be speaking to Yofi Grant, CEO of GIPC. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, in support of the country's fight against COVID-19 pandemic, has donated over 3,000 personal protective equipment, PPEs, to the health sector. The items comprising of PPEs, gloves, goggles, and cardinal health equipment were presented to the Ghana Health Service and the Kolebu Teaching Hospital on Friday, March 27, 2020. Receiving the donation on behalf of the Ghana Health Service, the Director General, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaji, expressed his appreciation to the center, stating the health sector is stretched and will be stretched if they don't do well. He encouraged corporate Ghana to assist in this regard. Well, let's speak to Mr. Yofi Grant, and he is CEO, GIPC. Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Well, so how has the COVID-19 impacted foreign direct investment into the country?
I mean, of course, we know that, it's not even a question of how. It's been significant because we know that, first of all, there would be limitation of travel, and there will be limitation of congregations and meetings, etc., and that would definitely even affect the decision-making processes of investors coming forward. I'm sure you've been watching what's happened to the market in the developed countries. Most of the markets have lost significant value, although some have clawed back, and all the value they've lost is capital that could have been invested elsewhere. And for us to, in a bit to protect our citizens, the airports have been, travel has been limited. We've strengthened our immigration to make sure that we do not import any more carriers of the disease, advertently or inadvertently. So that has affected our meetings. In fact, we stopped meeting people from outside more than 2 weeks ago, because we meet a lot of people who come from outside. Investors, business people, making inquiries, etc., But we had to sort of limit that activity to curtail any imported, infections that could be carried out and affect people at GIPC. So I sort of self-quarantined after a while because I had met quite a number of people. Thank God I haven't shown any symptoms. I've spoken to doctors and we're fine. But the staff need to be protected. The ordinary Ghanaian on the street needs to be protected. And therefore, for us, it's important that although we are seeing a drop in investment coming in because either people are keeping away or the conditions prevalent in the world today do not facilitate that, we think we have to do a bit.
Well, Mr. Grant, definitely you have said that there's even a drop in investment and it has really affected. I want to find out how is GIPC, re-strategizing, waiting for things to normalize?
Well, I have had quite a number of video meetings to sort of complete the discussions we've had. We've also had telephone meetings with some prospective investors who are looking at projects in Ghana. But at this moment, the priority is not that. The priority is to maintain safety of people. And make sure that we save lives and make sure that we don't do things that we can't fix. Because as the president said in his last address, the economy you can't fix, but lives that are gone you can't bring back. So you prevent people from catching the infection. I mean, we'll do our best to prevent people from catching it. And definitely, one of the most important things for us is that people should just stay home. They should not be walking about and think this is business as usual. It is not. People are dying. And the saddest part of it is that the people in the front line are the people most at risk. I'm sure you must have heard this morning the 51 doctors in Italy who tested positive for the coronavirus because they were treating people have died. We can't afford that number of doctors dying in Ghana. We should do the little that we, or the most that we can, and the best that we can to prevent that.
Right. So, all right, thanks so much, Mr. Yofi Grant. He is the CEO of GIPC. Now, the Ghana Institute of Surveyors is asking government to focus attention on mapping areas considered the epicenter of the coronavirus as a lockdown looms. The cases of the novel virus have shot up in the country, with experts warning of increased cases.
Fast spreading, the figures are soaring. Health managers are advising a lockdown with varied opinions. Government is still in consultation as to whether to do or not. Accra, Tema and Kumasi are the only hit areas.
We all know that to be able to produce maps, it's come from the Survey and Mapping Division. They are the bedrock, and they are the responsible agency to produce maps. We also know that with this epidemic, we need to provide a latest map and information for the government to be able to plan and strategically know how to control the spread of this epidemic.
Well, that's all in news for this afternoon. Thanks so much for watching. My name is AC Benewa Otu. Do try and stay safe. Good afternoon.
Previously on Battleground.
Do you remember all the fuss about you not wanting to sign a prenup with Michael?